So I guess just reflecting back, how do you wish you were treated by those first doctors that you went to?
So I went back through like my medical history and all of the reports that they had done. And I think that the biggest regret I have is that when I looked at all the symptoms and all the notes that they had made, I was showing signs of ovarian cancer, and nobody told me that. Nobody mentioned it to me. Now, I'm lucky I don't have ovarian cancer. I went through and made sure that I had everything looked at to verify that that was not what I was dealing with. But because the symptoms were so similar to that, the fact that nobody bothered to check really scared me because if that's what I was dealing with, it would have been not addressed and it could have progressed.
I wonder how those negative experiences with doctors have changed the ways you interact with doctors now, maybe particular about your reproductive health.
For sure. So I'm definitely much more of an advocate for myself now. And I think that probably the biggest change for me is that if I'm not comfortable with the doctor, I don't feel bad about it. I move on to the next one. I'll stop seeing them and I will find somebody that suits my needs. I'm also much more likely to tell doctors up front, kind of what I'm dealing with and how I feel about it. And I set expectations for them. So if there's a medication that I'm not comfortable with, I let them know. And if they try to push it onto me, or say that's what they think I need to do, I'm going to tell them no, just flat out, and tell them, not to keep asking me because I feel like having boundaries with doctors is super, super important.
I wonder where, I mean, maybe it's just from experience, but where did you look to for how to be that kind of advocate in medical settings?
So I feel like people in the group probably were like my first indication that like it's very common for doctors not to listen to you and that you have to kind of develop these strategies for dealing with that. So that was probably, yeah, I think the first place where I realized like you really have to speak up and set your boundaries when you're talking to doctors.
Yeah, and where else, where do you look for that information about the treatment and about things like that?
So the Nancy Nook page actually has like a website that compiles research about these diseases, and it gives you treatment options. It talks about like how effective these treatment options are, and it gives you like doctors in your area that you can go to. So that's where I would start if I were trying to find more information about it.